Giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. That's all praises to the Heavenly Father through the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching us the 100% truth according to the Bible and who rule well. Shalom to all you Akim and you Akwath, those of the hopeful elect that are seeking for salvation. I want to bring out some news articles, some of the events that took place over the weekend, a couple of interesting topics that I want to cover, just for Lord willing edification. It's been a busy weekend, a lot's going on. Even as we speak, the Lord is bringing forth judgment. All right. When you read this article here from foxnews.com, it says North Korea claims 800,000 join army in a single day to fight the U.S. North Korea fired 2 ICBMs into the sea in reaction to U.S. and Southern Korean drills. Nearly 800,000 people signed up to join the North Korean military in a single day, the country's state-run media claimed Saturday. Okay, it says, I'm just going to jump down to the point here. This is a quote. The soaring enthusiasm of young people to join the army is a demonstration of the unshakable will of the younger generation to mercilessly, I'm going to say that again, Salakia, mercilessly wipe out the army maniacs making last-ditch efforts to eliminate our precious socialist country and achieve the great cause of national reunification without fail, and a clear manifestation of their ardent patriotism, the state-run newspaper wrote. So these jokers ain't playing. And that's a beautiful spirit, man, that we're seeing, that we are in a time of war. Okay, and it's beautiful because what the Lord is doing is first of all, the Lord is the one mustering up the host. He's the one instigating these nations to prepare for war. When you read Ecclesiastes 3:1, it says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So there's always an appointed time. So we're living in an appointed time where we're getting ready to see this kingdom go down, praying that we endure to the end, those of us who have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we are in a very beautiful, revealing, prophetic times. Now, when you jump down, it says to verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate. Okay, we see a lot of hatred. The hearts of many waxing cold. The only love there is the love the Lord is showing to, those of the hopeful elect. And the love amongst the brotherhood, the ministry, charity, and all these beautiful, things that, individuals that are part of Hopeful Elect are doing for the ministry. Okay, but here's the point. It says a time of war and a time of peace. So it's always one or the other. There's no gray area. So we're in a time of war. This is an example of that. Okay, when you have 800,000 join the military in a single day to fight the U.S., that's a time of war. That's a major time of war, and that's beautiful because, as the scriptures say, these things must come to pass. St. Matthew 24 and verse 3 says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world, meaning the end of an age? So the disciples wanted to know what's going to be signs of the revealing of your second return. Okay, because the disciples were privy that there's always an appointed time. There's always a season. Okay, and they wanted to make sure that they were ready for when the Lord returns. And we're referring to these important scriptures in these times. Verse 4 says, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Hamashiach, and shall deceive many. So you're going to have a lot of false prophets. Those who are, you got individuals claiming that they are King David. You got Israelites that are, preaching false doctrines, damnable heresies. deceiving a lot of our people. But, ultimately the Lord said he's the one deceiving, those who he wants to deceive. As the scriptures say, the deceiver and the deceiver are his. So a lot of our people are being deceived by these false prophets. We are living in prophetic times. Verse 5 says, or verse 6 says, and this is the point, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, a lot of skirmishes, proxy wars, economic woes. You got sabotaging of the pipelines that Russia is building to Germany. That's an act of war. But this is all prophetic, and it's required and will come to pass, as the scriptures say. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things are required to happen. So the Lord said, don't be troubled by it. Okay, this is going to have to happen as we see it happening. Verse 7 says, for nation shall rise against nation. When you go into the word nation, it goes back to the word race. Okay, because there's division across the board, race against race. And ultimately, there's division within households, genders, even within genders, women against women, men against men, gang wars, civil war is about to be prepared to take place. And you have class wars, all these different wars that are being prepared, the one to go against the other. It says in kingdom against kingdom. Okay, these different, leaders against one another, these countries, preparing for war. North Korea versus America, Russia against America, Iran, China against America, all these, different countries that are rising up. It says, and there shall be famines, shortage of food and water, and pestilences, diseases, and earthquakes in diverse places, which leads me to the next article. So it's going to be in the last days, great earthquakes. And as we see here from NPR.org, it says a strong earthquake has deleted at least 15 in Ecuador and 1 in Peru. A strong earthquake shook southern Ecuador and northern Peru on Saturday, deleting at least 15 people, trapping others under rubble, and sending rescue teams out into streets littered with debris and fallen power lines. This is the Lord. Who movie is this? This is the Lord's movie. He's running the show. He's making these moves happen. Isaiah 29:6 says, thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. The word visited goes back to punish. So the Lord is punishing these people, and he's doing it by way of weather elements, tornadoes, fires, thunder, lightning strikes, earthquakes in diverse places. We saw recently, a little over a month ago, what happened in Syria and Turkey. Now the Lord is continuing to make his moves, and the scriptures say the Lord is going to be known by his judgments. So the Lord is punishing this place. He's bringing down a hammer. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. It says, see now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And that's straight to the point. That's plain. That's very simple. Okay. The Lord said he's the one killing. So when you see things like this happen, it's judgment from the Lord. A strong earthquake has killed at least 15 in Ecuador and 1 in Peru. That's the Lord that's doing that. And those that remain alive, the Lord allowed them to remain alive. It says, I wound and I heal those that were injured. Okay, there's a great number of individuals that was injured, and those that are going to be healed from those injuries, the Lord is allowing them to be healed. Which is why we often say, fear the Lord, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which include you scattered Israelites. Okay, it will look like these heathen nations, but seed goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We have a requirement to fear the Lord, in which I'll close out, on Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, Lord willing. The last article I want to bring out here is from Bloomberg. It says UBS to buy Credit Suisse and $3.3 billion deal. I think they meant to say $1 billion deal to end crisis. All right, key points here. Government to backstop some losses, provide liquidity. Authorities pushed for a deal amid worsening confidence crisis. UBS Group AG agreed to buy Credit Suisse Group AG in a historic government brokered deal aimed at containing a crisis of confidence that has started to spread across global financial markets. So, of course, everything is being built up for a financial crisis. We saw the medical one take place with the whole staging thing that happened that we went through for like 2.5, 3 years. All right, this is a financial one. This is going to be a big one. All these bank bailouts or buyouts, consolidations, takeovers, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot that's going on. But ultimately, these are all roads that lead to the MOTB. Revelation 13:16 says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So that buy or sell is literally buying or selling. So in order, at some point in time, we're going to get to an appointed time where everything's going to be switched over to a fully digital society with 15-minute cities. Everything's going to be under surveillance. Your medical records are going to be on this CHIP. But the main key point that reveals that we're in those times and what the charagma is the buy or sell. So we're coming into a society where everything's going to be fully digital and you're going to have to need the charagma to buy or sell. We are forbidden to take this grain of rice that this devil's getting ready to push out. And as the scriptures say, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices. So these incremental steps that he's making, which, by the way, he's making them swiftly because he knows his time is short. These are steps that are not to be taken lightly. These are very important movements this man is making to ultimately cause, right? Let's go into the word cause. To ultimately cause everyone to take and require everyone to take it. All right, but we are forbidden to take it. You know, you take it, there's a judgment, a heavy judgment for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We all need to take heed. It says to make, to produce, to construct, to form, to make ready, to prepare. This is a form of him preparing this, right? These buyouts, you know, these consolidations, this is all a part of him consolidating to make this thing easier to transition to this MARK of the beast system ready, all right? The New World Order agenda. That's pretty much it, all right? And as I say, we're forbidden to take this thing, Revelation 14:9, and I'm going to close out on Ecclesiastes, Lord willing. Revelation 14:9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his MARK in his forehead or in his hand, what we just read in the 13th chapter, that he's going to cause everyone to take it. Okay, but the Lord is showing us what the judgment is for doing this, right? For us Israelites, those who sell out and worship this man, okay, and receive his MARK in their body to buy or sell, okay, to be involved in this man's New World Order agenda into his system. Okay, verse 10 says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. The Lord ain't gonna have no pity on you sellouts. Okay, he's gonna rain fire and brimstone, as it says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So that whole this right here, North Korea claims 800,000 join army in a single day to fight the U.S. It affects, you know, everyone in some way, shape, or form, because ultimately this is another sign that with all these, it says North Korea fired 2 ICBM missiles in the sea in reaction to U.S. and Southern Korean drills. These ICBMs is going to be what the Lord's going to use from these other nations that they're going to shoot over to America, Babylon the Great, to rain fire and brimstone. And those who took the mark are going to be left in that lake of fire. Okay, they're going to be tormented. The 2/3 are going to die on this side, and they're going to come back in the kingdom through the loins of the elect. 2/3 of the nation Israel that sell out. That's not a part of that. That's not written in the book. That's not a part of that elect number. So it's a lot going on, and a lot of part and pieces that are moving towards the end of this man's wicked rulership that's going to eventually all come together as we see coming together, you know. So we got a duty to fear the Lord and continue to seek his ways so we don't fall subject to this great destruction that's about to take place. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. Fear Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Great things come to those that fear the Lord, right? And one of those great things is mercy, salvation, protection, food when there's a famine, protection when all hell is breaking loose. But fear the Most High is a requirement of us Israelites that we are supposed to do. Fear Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, calling on the true names. It says, and keep his commandments and rehearse the commandments to the best of our ability. Rehearsing the commandments shows that we are obedient, shows that we are taking heed, and we do it to the best of our ability. We know we're not perfect, but we're striving for perfection. It says, for this is the whole duty of man, meaning the Israelite man, woman, and child. So that's really the duty. That's why we were put here on earth, is to serve the Lord. You know, not to get get a doctorate degree and, you know, to be the richest man in Babylon, man. We were created to serve the Lord. Now, of course, we know we got to make moves, how we make moves to pay our bills, etc. in this world. But we use the world, we don't abuse it. Ultimately, everything that we do should be wrapped around fearing the Lord, because these things are popping off, man. North Korea claims 800,000 join army in a single day to fight the U.S. A strong earthquake has killed at least 15 in Ecuador and 1 in Peru. UBS to buy Credit Suisse in $3.3 billion deal to end crisis. So the Lord is making moves, man. I just want to bring out the news. And with that being said, all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom.